we find the dip in the ground where he usually rests. He casts around to make sure there are no wild cactus plants, then slowly folds down onto his haunches, his root-like fingers poking the grass flat in front of him. Below us, the muddy river sludges along its crooked bed. He squats, and I stand in the starlight, chewing on bits of grass. This is the closest Uncle ever gets to the ocean. Umi no yo, he always says. Everything in front of us is virgin land. From the beginning of time, the grass along this stretch of prairie has not been cut. About a mile east is a spot which was once an Indian buffalo jump, a high, steep cliff where the buffalo were stampeded and fell to their deaths. All the bones are still there, some sticking right out of the side of a fresh landslide. Uncle could be Chief Sitting Bull squatting here. He has the same prairie-baked skin, the deep brown furrows like dry riverbeds creasing his cheeks. All he needs is a feather headdress, and he would be perfect for a picture postcard. Indian Chief from Canadian Prairie. Souvenir of Alberta, made in Japan. Some of the native children I've had in my classes over the years could almost pass for Japanese, and vice versa. There's something in the animal-like shyness I recognize in the dark eyes, a quickness to look away. I remember when I was a child in Slocan, seeing the same swift flick of a cat's tail look in the eyes of my friends. The first time Uncle and I came here for a walk was in 1954, in August, 2 months after Aunt Emily's initial visit to Granton. For weeks after she left, Uncle seemed distressed, pacing back and forth, his hand patting the back of his head. Then one evening, we came here. It was a quiet twilight evening, much like tonight. His agitation seemed to abate as we walked through the waving grass, though his eyes still stabbed at the air around him and occasionally at me. When we reached the edge of the hill, we stopped and looked down at the coulee bottom and the river with the tree clumps and brush along its edge. I felt apprehensive about rattlesnakes and wanted to get back to the road. "Isn't it dangerous?" I asked. Uncle is almost never direct in his replies. I felt he was chiding me for being childishly afraid when he said abruptly, "Mo ikutsu? What is your age now?" 18, I said. He shook his head as he scuffed the ground. He sighed so deeply that when he exhaled, his breath was a groan. "What is the matter, Uncle?" He bent down and patted the grass flat with his hands, shaking his head slowly. "Too young," he said softly. "Still too young." He smiled the gentle, half-sad, half-polite smile he reserves for small children and babies. "Someday," he said. Whatever he was intending to tell me, someday, has not yet been told. I sometimes wonder if he realizes my age at all. At 36, I'm hardly a child. I sit beside him in the cool of this patch of prairie, and immediately I am hidden with him in a grass forest. My hands rest beside his on the knotted mat of roots covering the dry earth, the hard, untilled soil. "Uncle," I whisper, "why do we come here every year?" He does not respond. From both Obasan and Uncle, I have learned that speech often hides like an animal in a storm. My fingers tunnel through a tangle of roots till the grass stands up from my knuckles, making it seem that my fingers are the roots. I am part of this small forest. Like the grass, I search the earth and the sky with a thin but persistent thirst. "Why, Uncle?" He seems about to say something,